Welcome to Close Up on America's Business, the program that takes you inside some of the most unique and successful companies in America. I'm Janice Marie. On each edition of our show, you have the opportunity to meet some of the most innovative business leaders in the country today. You'll find out what their products, services, technologies, and business models can do for you, and what they're doing to change our world and to change the way we do business.
There is an old saying that indicates variety is the spice of life. It helps keep people interesting and excited. And if it works for individuals, obviously it can work for businesses too. That may well help explain the amazing success story of a Santa Barbara-based construction company that was founded here over 25 years ago, from scratch, as the owner likes to put it, and today is a $30 million a year award-winning business. The company is the Schipper Construction Company, and its projects range from such things as a high-end music hall for gifted students from around the world to unique enclosures for giant birds and elephants at the Santa Barbara Zoo. And that's only a partial list of the amazing projects this company has tackled over the past 25 plus years. To learn more about what makes it all work, we spoke with many of the company's key team members, starting with the founder and the president of the firm, Schipper.
We're a commercial building contractor. We started the company in 1982, and very early in my career, I found out I don't have the right personality to deal with the vagrancies of homeowners. I do no homes and strictly commercial building. We are located in Santa Barbara. We work basically the Santa Maria, Ventura, Camarillo area. But in Santa Barbara, there's very little high-rise or very little condo construction, so we have a tendency to do a lot of historical buildings, historical restoration. Because Santa Barbara is such a no-growth area, we do a lot of tear-down and rebuilds because they want to make more efficient use of their properties.
What are some of the more prominent projects that this company has tackled?
We just finished about a $15 million project for the Music Academy of the West, Hahn Hall, very old building. Took it down to the bones, did the seismic restoration, and then redid it. Interesting thing about that job is, as we were doing the work, there were major changes because we didn't realize how bad the building was to start with. So we had to incorporate it, yet the completion date did not move. We did it under their budget, or the budget we gave them, and we had 9 months to do all that work, and we made it. And they're extremely happy with us.
This is Hahn Hall. It's the recital hall for the Music Academy of the West. We 100% modernized it. If you'd have seen it before, you would be really amazed at what it looks like right now. It was really not of the quality that it needed to be for the quality of students that are here and the musical experience that they get here. We completely changed it to theater seating. It used to be one level down below, and we've put a slope in the floor, put all new heating and cooling in it, redesigned all of the acoustics. We've insulated or isolated the sound from the outside. So we tried to increase the acoustics from the performers here to the musical experience for the audience. We essentially had to build around all of the trees. If you look at a tree, you see what's up above a tree. Below it, the root structure is essentially the same size as the canopy. We have kind of a unique feature on this tree. We hand dug around all the roots and put in this permeable structural fill so that when it rains, the water will get down through these grates that we have here and actually feed the tree. And at the same time, there's a root barrier in between there that makes the roots go down rather than come up and destroy the concrete that we put in.
Paul Wachowski is the general manager of Schipper Construction. Paul, what is the focus of your job?
I usually meet with the clients in the beginning when we are developing a new job, and I'm usually the first one on the job. I meet with the clients, meet with the architects, and I kind of watch over the job from the start to the very end. I'm good at laying out the site, logistics, how we're going to make it work, where we're going to fence it off, how we're going to get materials there, and scheduling it, and the actual nuts and bolts, how the things go together. I like the challenges. I've always loved building things. I love the challenge of going to an empty field and building a building, or going to the middle of a zoo and tearing up the middle of the zoo and putting in new exhibits.
This is called Wings of Asia. It's an exhibit our company built about 2-3 years ago. Here at the Santa Barbara Zoo, we have done many projects right here. We built the cage, the poles. The interesting thing about these jobs is that it's all new. We've never done any of this kind of work before in our life. It came out wonderful. The creek is totally self-sufficient. By self-sufficient, I mean it waters the plants, it grows the plants, it fertilizes the plants, and they don't do anything to it. They just circulate the water and it keeps the whole thing going.
What we're doing here is we're building an exhibit for the California condor, which is an endangered species. They're hoping to breed them here and replenish some of them that are in the wild. I think the biggest challenge for us on this project is the actual construction of the netting and the poles themselves. We don't have a lot of room to work in there. There's very limited crane access. The poles are that long that we have to bring them in sections, weld them together on site, and then crane them into place and then temporary brace them off before we run all the cabling. And that in itself is a challenge. We have some special equipment that we put into the ground to hold them in place before the main 1 1/8" cables tie it all together. And it's on the side of a hill. So I have to work with another company who comes in to put the netting up, and I have to coordinate staging areas for them as well.
I'm in the process of giving the company to my employees. Every year we put $300,000 to $400,000 of before-tax profits into an ESOP plan. ESOP standing for Employee Stock Ownership Plan. Everybody gets a piece of that. Then eventually they give me that money, and now they have ownership. It's a very good way for me to get a reasonable return for 25 years of work and yet help my employees keep the company together.
Evolution has been starting, and I think now that it's moving forward, it's picking up steam, and people are starting to understand that our day-to-day work is part of our profit margin. I think there's a little bit more write-off instead of just being an employee that shows up to work 9 to 5 and works their 8 hours and goes home. I think people are putting in 120% now. And we're starting to see a change in attitude as they're a piece of the company. So I think so far it's working out good, and I think it's only going to get better.
And there you are, an inside look at the remarkable success story of the Frank Schipper Construction Company. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from Santa Barbara, California.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.